the summer of 1906, Dr. William Clark, a brilliant oncologist from New York, sought a sanctuary. He wanted to escape the chaos of the city. He and his wife, Harriet, found a 1,000-acre stretch in the Litchfield Hills. It was breathtaking. Ancient trees, wild apple orchards, and a stream that sparkled with mica, glistening like diamonds in the dirt. But there was a silence there, a heavy, suffocating silence. Scattered through the woods were the ruins of an old settlement, crumbling stone walls and cellar holes overgrown with vines. Dr. Clark saw them as charming relics of the past. He didn't know that every stone was soaked in a century of blood and madness. When Clark tried to hire local builders, they refused. They didn't care about his New York money. They simply looked at the dark entry forest and shook their heads. Undeterred, the doctor built the house himself. Week after week, he hammered and sawed in the isolation. He even built a dam to create a private pool. By 1918, it was a masterpiece, a paradise in the middle of a nightmare. But the forest was watching. The owls didn't hoot, they screamed, and the shadows seemed to stretch a little further toward the front door every evening. The breaking point came in 1918. Dr. Clark received an emergency call from New York. He had to leave. Harriet was terrified. She begged him not to leave her alone in that hollow. He promised to return in 36 hours. When his train pulled back into the station, Harriet wasn't there. A cold dread settled in the doctor's chest. He sprinted into the woods. The dark entry lived up to its name. The canopy was so thick it felt like midnight at noon. The owls were in a frenzy, a wall of screeching sound that felt like it was clawing at his brain. He reached the house. The front door was ajar. A high-pitched, electric hum filled the air, and then he heard it. Laughter. It wasn't Harriet's laugh. It was a jagged, hysterical sound echoing from the upstairs bedroom. He ran up the stairs, his heart hammering against his ribs. He pushed the door open. Harriet was kneeling in the corner. Her hands were locked over her mouth, her eyes bulging with a terror that surpassed human understanding. And her mouth was stretched open far wider than any human jaw should go, as if something inside her was trying to tear its way out. Harriet never spoke again. Some say she died in an asylum. Others say she withered away in New York, her mind forever trapped in that dark valley. But she wasn't the first. From the Carter family, who were wiped out by plague and massacre, to Gershom Hollister, who died mysteriously in the home of a man named Tanner, a man who went mad claiming he saw beasts in the trees. Even the legendary paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, declared Dudleytown demonically possessed. Today, the forest is closed. But if you stand at the edge of the ruins, hikers still report the same things. A sudden freezing wind, the feeling of invisible hands pushing you toward the trees, and the sound of a woman's laughter coming from a house that hasn't existed for 100 years. Dudleytown remains a void on the map, a place where nature reclaimed what it never wanted us to have. Stay away from the dark entry, because once the forest notices you, it never lets you go. If you enjoyed this descent into the dark, don't forget to like and share. I'll see you in the next story, if the lights stay on.